Hello, guys. Welcome to your podcast, English with Flash. This is the lesson 2, and as I promised you all, that I am going to give you all the fillers. Guess I promised you 100 something fillers, and I have given you 2, the usage of just a matter of time and by the time. These two we have already done in lesson 1. If you want to listen to that and learn that again, go check that previous podcast. So in the lesson 2, we are going to learn about comparison. Now what happens in our day-to-day lives, we compare things with each other. It's a daily human nature that we talk about comparison, something being compared with something. So we ought to use these fillers. So the thing is, you got to use in a professional way. So the word is just as much as, or using as for a comparison, like as good as bad as beautiful as. So if I say for a layman, someone say you like a movie and I like it too. So what would I say? Hey, you like that movie? I like that movie too. That's not a good way to say that. I would rather say, or the professionals would say, the experts would say when they talk, is that I like the movie just as much as you do. I like this song just as much as you do. I like this video just as much as you do. I hate that celebrity just as much as you do. So when you compare things, you can use this term just as much as. I love going for morning walk just as much as you do. I love working out just as much as you do. So this is a beautiful way of telling that you are comparing things and telling that you two love the things equally. Mind my words, you love it equally as the other person does. So that's the one thing. So if you understood this term just by now itself, you could write some examples in the comment section and let me know. More example, if you ask me, I would say, hey, I like reading books just as much as you do. Hey, I like going to gym just as much as you do. Hey, I like listening to songs just as much as you do. So these are certain examples. So when you compare, talk in this way. This is a beautiful way of comparing things and telling people that you like something equally as the other person does. Now if you understood this, we move a little further, one step ahead, and I will tell you something about how to compare things between each other. That was about showing equality, that you like something equally, like, hey, I like to have morning coffee just as much as my friends do. Okay, you could say that. I like to have evening tea just as much as my friends do. So you could say that. Now moving on to the next step, I would say is that the next stage will be when you're comparing between the two people, like say Hema is just as beautiful as Rekha, or say Ramesh is just as strong as Mohan. Okay, or say Sita is just as beautiful as Geeta. Ram is just as cool as Mohan. Mohan is just as brave as Ram. So this is the correct way to compare things and tell that Ram is equally stronger, or Ram is as strong as Mohan. Or even in a common conversation, in a layman terms, people say, hey, he is strong, so Ram is also strong. That's not a correct way. So these are the fillers that I have noticed celebrities and professional speakers mention whenever they are talking in interviews or in a conference. So try to keep these things in your mind when you are especially comparing. The thing is, as much as, you got to use this. Like already I gave you examples. I would like you to write more examples in the chat section. I would give you more examples that my shirt is just as black as yours. Okay. You could say so many examples. Just try to bring it to your conversation. Like you could say Suresh is just as fat as Mukesh when you're comparing the health. they are just as lean as. So okay, so when comparing their health also, you can write, yes, like I said, Suresh is just as fat as, just as thin as, just as smart as, just as intelligent as, just as cool as, just as clever as, just as beautiful as, just as smart as. So you could use all these. The first one I taught you was showing the equality. Like I said, I like this song just as much as you do. I like going out to party just as much as you do. So these are the way of showing equality. And when you compare, you use this term. Like Shahrukh is just as handsome as Ritik. So try to use this, bring it to your practice. I will bring another podcast related to this if you have any doubts, but try to use it in your day-to-day conversation. Unless